everyone, it's Annie, and I am here today to do my June TBR. Now, I am wanting or hoping that this is less ambitious than last month's TBR, but honestly, I still have a lot of books that I'm planning to read. So first, I want to say that I am going to be buddy reading Red Rising with Mo from the Roomies Digest. I am very happy to finally be reading this. Obviously, it's a very popular book, and I just hauled it, which I will link up there. And yeah, I am really excited to read this book. All I know is that it has been compared to The Hunger Games, but it takes place on Mars, and it's an Earth colony on Mars, and these people that the main character is part of have been working to colonize Mars, but it's actually over and they're just being worked for no reason or something along those lines. And then, there's a rebellion and stuff. But it's sci-fi, so I am excited for this, and I am very excited to be buddy reading. Now, the next 3 books I will be talking about are all for a secret TBR that will hopefully come out in July or late June, I'm not sure. It depends, but the first book is Challenger Deep by Neil Shusterman. I've heard that this is an amazing book, a really hard-hitting contemporary YA about a main character who has schizophrenia. So the synopsis is Caden Bush is on a ship that's headed for the Marianas Trench, called the Challenger Deep. He's also a brilliant high school student whose friends are starting to notice his odd behavior. He is designated as the ship's artist-in-residence to document the journey with images. Caden Bush pretends to join the school track team, but spends his days walking for miles, absorbed by the thoughts in his head. He is split between his allegiance to the captain and the allure of mutiny. So, sounds interesting. I have heard that this book is very, very emotional, so I've been looking forward to reading it, and hopefully it's as good as everyone says. The next book I am very intimidated by. It is The Priory of the Orange Tree by Samantha Shannon. Now, I've heard great things about this. Also, recently I've heard some meh reviews about it, but I am excited to dive into it because it is a sapphic fantasy. The synopsis sounds really, really interesting. I am just so intimidated because it's 850 pages, which translates to about 25 hours of audio. But I got an Audible free trial just to listen to this book because it's an Audible exclusive, and I'm looking forward to it. The synopsis, if you don't already know, is that a queendom without an heir is in a world divided. An ancient enemy awakens. The house of Berethnet has ruled Innis for 1,000 years. Still unwed, Queen Sabran IX must conceive a daughter to protect her realm from destruction, but assassins are getting closer to her door. Ia Durian is an outsider at court. Though she has risen to the position of lady-in-waiting, she is loyal to a hidden society of mages. Ooh. She keeps a watchful eye on Queen Sabran, secretly protecting her with forbidden magic. Okay, interesting. There also seems to be a dragon rider character in here. Sounds like there's gonna be a lot of world building, especially in a book as long as this. So I hope I can finish it in this month, along with all the other books that I have to read. The next book is also quite long, which I didn't realize until just now. It's over 500 pages, and it is A Girl is a Body of Water. This is set in Uganda, following the 12-year-old girl Kirabo, who is confronting a piercing question that has haunted her childhood. Who is her mother? She has been raised by women in the small village of Nateta, her grandmother, best friend, aunts, but the absence of her mother follows her. Complicating these feelings of abandonment, as she comes of age, she feels the emergence of a mysterious second self, a headstrong and confusing force inside her, at odds with her sweet and obedient nature. She is seeking answers, and she begins spending afternoons with a local witch, who trades stories with her and also helps her learn about the woman who birthed her and the strange force inside her. I'm really interested in this. I have been wanting to read it for a while, and this will fit my secret TBR. If you want to guess what it is, please let me know in the comments, but I don't know if anyone will be able to guess, and I'm really looking forward to reading a book set in Uganda. I will also be reading Recipe for Persuasion for the Down Memory Jane read-along. This is a retelling of Jane Austen's Persuasion, which is my favorite Jane Austen work that I have read so far. So I am very excited to read this. It's about a woman who is trying to save her family's restaurant, and she has to go on like a cooking competition TV show. Sounds fun. It's something light in between all these difficult fantasies and like magical realism stuff, so this should be fun. And then I am reading Fugitive Telemetry, which is the 6th Murderbot series book that just came out recently, and I finally got it from my library. I'm very happy, and again, it's just going to be a quick, easy read, something I know I'm going to like, so that'll be something I read, maybe while I'm taking a break in the Priory of the Orange Tree. I'll probably be taking a break in the middle of that book, let's be honest. So yeah, I'm excited to read both of those. And then I have a couple of new releases that I'm excited to read in June. One of them comes out June 1st, and that is The Chosen and the Beautiful by Niva. This is a retelling of Great Gatsby, but not exactly. It follows the character Jordan Baker, who in this retelling is an Asian immigrant who is also queer and also a magician. A little scared about the magician part, but it's Niva, and I love her novellas, The Empress of Salt and Fortune, so I'm gonna read this. And then there is The Personal Librarian by Marie Benedict, which I have been very excited for. It comes out towards the end of June, and it is a historical fiction novel about the little-known story of Belle de Costa Green, who was J.P. Morgan's personal librarian. She became one of the most powerful women in New York, and she's a famous librarian, which I think is really cool, but she has a secret that she is actually a black woman who is passing as white in order to hold this job. So I am really interested in this. It sounds perfect for fans of The Vanishing Half and fans of historical fiction in general, and it's books about books, who doesn't like that? So I am very interested in this one as well. Hopefully I can get to it. And next I will go through my TBR for the Queer Lit Readathon. June is Pride Month, we all know this, I'm very excited for it, and I'm so happy to be participating in the Queer Lit Readathon. I have its bingo board up here, and I am going to try and be nice to myself and not do what I usually do, which is pick a different book for each prompt of a readathon. I have a lot of other books I want to read this month, so that's just not going to happen. So I doubled up a lot with these prompts, but the first book I want to mention is Summer of Salt by Katrina Leno. This is going to be my first Katrina Leno novel, which I'm really excited about. I know she is quite a beloved author here on Booktube, and this book will fulfill the prompt summery vibes and also a book that makes me happy, because it seems like it's going to make me happy from the synopsis, which is Georgina Fernweh waits impatiently for the tingle of magic in her fingers, magic that has touched every woman in her family. But with her 18th birthday looming at the end of the summer, she fears her gift will never come. Over the course of her last summer on the island, a summer of storms, falling in love, and the mystery behind one rare 300-year-old bird, Georgina will learn the truth about magic in all its many forms. Sounds awesome. Sapphic, magical realism, witches? Sounds good to me. Next, I will be reading Lost Arabs, which is a poetry collection, so I'll be reading it for the prompt shorter than a novel. And it's about being queer and Arab and Muslim, and I've heard really great things about this. I believe I heard about it from Olivia Savannah's channel at Olivia's Catastrophe, and it just seems like something I would really enjoy reading, so I'm looking forward to this one as well. The next book I'm using for 3 prompts, which is a memoir, an underrepresented identity, and a book that combines religion with LGBT. So, I am reading We Have Always Been Here, which is a memoir about being queer and Muslim, and I am very, very interested in this. I don't really know much about this subject at all, and I'd really love to learn more. I have heard amazing things about this book, so I'm really grateful for the chance to read it, and I'm happy that it fulfills so many prompts on this readathon. The next book I have been meaning to read for so long, and I am so happy that I am going to be reading it this month. It is Darius the Great Is Not Okay. I'm using it for the prompt, hard-hitting contemporary, book not set on my continent, because it's mostly set in Iran, and a book that is intersectional, so an LGBT identity plus another marginalized or underrepresented identity. So, I am so excited for this. It sounds so heartbreaking, but also beautiful, and I've heard nothing but good things about it. It is about Darius Kellner, who speaks better Klingon than Farsi. He's a fractional Persian, half on his mom's side, and his first ever trip to Iran is about to change his life. He's never really fit in, his clinical depression doesn't help anything, and it's hard to make friends in America, and he doesn't think Iran is going to be any better for him. But then he meets Sohrab, the boy next door, and everything changes. Yeah, I'm excited. This sounds so good. This is probably the book that I'm looking forward to the most this month. It's been on my TBR for so long, and it just sounds like something I will absolutely adore. The next book I am also very excited for. It is Fortune Favors the Dead. This book's, look at this cover. It just looks so cool. It makes me want to read it. I am using this for the M-Spec prompt because the main character, Will, is bisexual. For the prompt, a book that was recommended because Sunny over at Sunny's Book Nook really highly recommends this book in a few of her videos, which I will link down below. And the vintage prompt, because this book takes place in the 1940s. So, it's 1942, and Will Parker is a scrappy circus runaway whose knife-throwing skills have just saved the life of New York's best and most unorthodox private investigator, Lillian Pentecost. When the dapper detective summons Will a few days later, she doesn't expect to be offered a life-changing proposition. Lillian's multiple sclerosis means she can't keep up with her old caseload alone, so she wants to hire Will to be her right-hand woman. I am so excited for a sapphic, hard-boiled detective thing, because a lot of the reason why I don't like those kind of vintage detective stories is because they're always the same boring male character who is just, gritty and always getting whatever girl he wants, and it's just not what I enjoy. So I will really enjoy this take on it, I think. Or at least I hope so. Now for the superhero prompt, I am reading a book that has been on my TBR for so many years, since it came out actually, which I think was in 2015 or something. A while. It is Dreadnought by April Daniels. And this is about a trans teen who is transformed into a superhero. Danny has a problem. She just inherited the powers of Dreadnought, the world's greatest superhero. Until Dreadnought fell out of the sky and died right in front of her, Danny was trying to keep people from finding out she's transgender. But before he expired, Dreadnought passed his mantle to her, and those secondhand superpowers transformed Danny's body into what she's always thought it should be. Now there's no hiding that she's a girl. So, sounds very interesting. Sounds like she's going to be dealing with the repercussions of this change, and also dealing with how to use her superpowers, and I'm assuming fighting bad guys. It sounds really fun, and I'm very looking forward to it. The next and final book on this TBR is the group book for the Queer Lit Readathon, which is Freshwater by Akwaeke Emezi. I have read another book by this author, Pet, which I really enjoyed, so I'm looking forward to reading this. It has a very short synopsis. It says, it explores the surreal experience of having a fractured self. It centers around a young Nigerian woman, Ada, who develops separate selves within her as a result of being born with one foot on the other side. That's all it says. I'm on Libby, I'm not on Goodreads. So, pretty vague. Not gonna lie, I have been intimidated by this book, which is why I haven't yet read it, even though it has been on my TBR for a while. So, I'm interested to see how it goes. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. If you're also participating in the Queer Lit Readathon, please let me know in the comments, and let me know what you're going to read. I'd love to talk to you about it. And thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please like and subscribe to my channel for more bookish videos, and I'll see you next time. Bye!